It's me again, Apostle Tahar. Hey, the spirit jumped on me again. I was watching this video, and I'd like to make an apology to Captain Tazariak because the live show that we did, Apostle Gabar had told me that he was doing a show, and Vocab Malone called in, and he was Apostle Gabar was saying that Captain Tazariak, basically spiritually put a beat down on him, right? So when I did the show, I said, well, I got to see the show myself, right? I'm looking at it right now. I saw it earlier, but I'm apologizing for calling him a tadpole. I said those are just two tadpoles, going at it, and one tadpole is a little bit bigger. So I'm going to take that back, but I'm going to say this. I'll give you a little promotion to Zariak. I'll say that you're a baby shark. All right, you're not the big shark. You're a baby shark. You're a little shark that ate up a baby tadpole. Okay, so I gave you a little promotion, right? Because you don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'll give you credit for the video that you did when this guy Vocal Malone, which he's not on the level. He don't know what the hell is going on. It's entitled James White, and James White, your name you're the head guy, so we're gonna get on you. It says James White's Alpha and Omega Ministries pastor calls ISUPK and gets crushed. The real Hebrews. It was actually Vocab Malone, right? And to show you that these people, see, they're looking for they're looking for approval from the. I guess they realize that we have the truth, and they came to the conclusion that these men are the Israelites, and they're looking for an approval that they can get into the kingdom. But there's no way you can get into the kingdom. If you're an Edomite, that's it. And it's shown, and like I said before in one of the previous videos, James White is only good at, he's good at arguing which version of the Bible is valid. And his claim is that the King James 1611, he said that there's more than one version of the King James. There was a 1611, and I believe it was a 1729, if I'm not mistaken, or 69. Then he spoke about the Septuagint. He spoke about the Geneva Bible, which, by the way, the Geneva Bible is not that much different from the King James Bible, because I'm reading through the Geneva Bible. He's also good at theological terms. He's a guy that went to some theological school or institution of learning, and basically they have a curriculum and they use certain terms that's not in the scriptures. Like, for example, the Fertile Crescent. If you went to some form of theological school of higher learning, you would know what that meant. I'm trying to think of some other terms, but there's terms that they use. That when they say these terms, the average person doesn't know unless he goes to that particular theological school or university. But anyway, I'm all over the place. I'm gonna say this here concerning James White. You had a debate with this guy, Elder Carr from the GOCC, which he doesn't know what the hell is going on. He doesn't understand. He's breaking down that he still teaches that Cornelius is an Edomite, and he did a thing where he went into Romans the 11th chapter, where it speaks about the Gentiles being grafted in. The Gentiles being grafted in are Israelites. And there's not just you, there's other people that's teaching that nonsense. That Romans the 11th chapter when it speaks about the Gentiles, it's talking about the actual Gentiles. It's not talking about the actual Gentiles. It's talking about Israel. Israelites, which we call Israelite foreigners. And most High willing, we're going to get into it when we do the next apostles of GMS sit down. Because a lot of you guys think you know the scriptures. You don't know the scriptures. All right? So you should just stop doing what you're doing. Stop putting up videos. And just follow the vanguard. You know, follow the true men of the Most High, which are the men of a great millstone. We have this truth, all right? Now, going back to James White, you should have a debate with this guy, a divine prospect, okay? You had like 2 debates with Ricard. You should have a debate with divine prospect because he understands those theological terms. Maybe he went to some form of theological school of higher learning, but he understands those terms. And he, as well as yourself, I would consider to be formal debaters. We're not formal debaters. We get out there on the street and we teach, and when debates take place, it just happens. Somebody come up and start talking, and then a debate takes place. And that's how debates are supposed to go. When you read the book of Acts, the 17th chapter, the Apostle Paul got into a debate, with some Greeks that was at Mars Hill, which is, what was the name of it? I always forget to say that word. But it translates into Mars Hill. All right. Areopagus, I believe, is the word. I always forget it. I got to think about it, and I got to go back to it. And the word goes back to. Let me go to it. Okay, Acts 17. Bear with me. Okay, it says, I'll go to 22, Acts 17:22. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, and he was talking to Israelites. I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. It says, for as I pass, that's not what I want, but, okay, I'm sorry, it's right here. Acts 17:19, it says, and they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is. And he's having this dialogue with these Greeks, these Epicureans. The 18th verse it said, then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and the Stoics encountered him, Paul, and some said, what will this babbler say? Others, he seems to be a setter forth of strange gods, because he preached unto them, the word there is Jesus, and the resurrection. And these men of Athens were actually Israelites. So when you get a chance, you look up Epicureans and you look up Stoics. Now I'm going to click on Areopagus. Areopagus. Okay, it translates from the Greek into Marshall Peak or Marshall Hill. And I believe Arius was a Greek god, one of the Greek gods that represented war. It says a rocky height in the city of Athens, because these Israelites were living in Athens. That's why they were called Athens. Opposite the western end of the Acropolis toward the west. Let me go back. And that goes into the yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn. Okay, 17 verse. It says, therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews, this is Paul, and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. And dispute means to debate. So when you had debates, they were impromptu debates. They just broke out. You didn't set 2 months we're going to have a debate. Anyway, I'm going to look up the word. Let's hope I find it. Okay, yep, I found it. Okay, it says Agora. Now there's a movie by the same name, Agora, and in the beginning scene, I think the first 5 minutes in, there's a debate, and I forget the characters in the movie, but they're debating over what's the God's name? Christus. My memory escapes me on that. Damn. I'm sorry. I can look it up. But there was a particular god that had a pot on his head. Let me see if I can find it. It'll come back to me and I'll put it in. Serapis Christus, all right? In that movie, they were debating over Serapis Christus, and that was a god during the time of the Ptolemaic rulership, when they ruled Egypt. That was also during that time period when they had built, when Ptolemy the first, Soda had, I think it was him that put out the order to build the library in Alexandria, Egypt, and you had all these different philosophers come together to learn, you know. But basically, when you go into a debate is something that happens. It's impromptu. It's not formal. What these devils do now is formal debates. And we're not formal debaters. So you should debate this guy, Divine Prospect, because he understands that terminology. Anyway, I'm going to say Shalom, and I'm going to do a part 2 to this thing, because I'm going to upload it right now. Shalom.